Hey guys, I'm Alan Zirkle with Mr. Z's Music Lessons, and today we'll be doing a lead guitar tutorial over Won't Stop Now by Elevation Worship. And if you'll check in the description of the video, there's a link to me playing through the whole song if you want to hear all the parts together. And there's also a link to a tab if you want to be able to print the tab off and look at the whole thing. Okay, so we'll just jump right into the lesson here. So you'll need a capo on the 2nd fret, and then all these fret numbers on the tab that you'll see on the screen are all relative to where that capo is, so just keep that in mind. So we're starting off on the 3rd fret of the low E string, and we're just going to play 8th notes, and our rhythm here, we'll put accents on beat 1 and then also on the and of 2. So it'll be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's all you play, just the 3rd fret of that low E string, just playing 8th notes, putting accents on beat 1 and then the end of 2. And then for the next part of the intro, you have this riff that sounds like. So let me go ahead and walk you through that part. So we'll play the open G string, open B string, back to the open G string, and the 2nd fret of the G string, the open B string, and then the 2nd fret of the D string. Then we'll do the same riff again, but just leave out that very last note on the D string, and then we'll play the same riff again, and then go to the open D string, and back to the same thing, just hold the open B. So let me go through that part of the riff for you one time. So it goes. Then for verse 1, you'll cut out for 8 measures, and then after you cut out, you can just play that same riff again. Just go through that one more time. And that's it for the intro and verse 1. Then for chorus 1, I'll put my pinky on the 3rd fret of the E string and my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And the pattern that we'll play here, we'll play the G string, the B string, the G string, and the E string. The rhythm of that will be. Then we'll play that same picking pattern, except we'll go to a different chord shape. So we'll put our 5th finger on the 5th fret of the E string, 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then the 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the G string, and play the same picking pattern. Let me go back to where we started on 3. And so pretty much we're just switching between here and here. So let me play through chorus 1 one time for you. That's it for chorus 1, and then right after chorus 1 you go kind of back to the intro riff, except you leave out the notes that we played on the D string. So for the turn you'll play just so that open B ring. And that's it for that part. Then on verse 2 is where the guitar really starts to kind of pick up some momentum. So we'll go ahead and I would go ahead and turn on drive here. And we'll hammer on the B string from 0 to 1. And we'll play the 3rd fret of the B string, and then the 3rd fret of the E string. So that sounds like. Then we'll go up to the 12th fret, up from where the capo is, which is your 14th normally. So we'll play the 12th fret, 10th, 8th, 7th, 3. So I'll play this riff a few times for you, and we'll do it 3 times. So it goes. so we'll go. And we'll slide up to that same chord that we did in the verse, or sorry, in the chorus, but we'll strum all three of them at the same time. And then we'll play a C add 9 chord. So I have my 3rd and 4th fingers there on the 3rd fret, and then I'm going to use my 1st finger just to touch the D string to mute it, and then I'll put my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. We'll strum 8th notes for 2 measures, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me play just the 4th time of this for you. So you go. So that's it for verse 2, and then on chorus 2 you'll play the same thing that you did on chorus 1, except I would go ahead and use overdrive. And then at the very end of chorus 2, where it transitions into the instrumental, we'll just go over that part real quick. So you'll start on the same shape, we'll go. We're going to play open G, 2nd fret of the G string, 4th fret of the G string, and then the 3rd fret of the B string. So that last measure of chorus 2 goes. Okay, and that's it for verse 2 and chorus 2. On the instrumental, we have a pretty rockin' lead line here. So we'll start on the 3rd fret of the B string with lots of overdrive, and we're playing 8th notes, so we'll go. And we'll come to the 2nd fret of the G string, 4th fret of the G string, back to the 2nd fret. And we'll stay on the 2nd fret. Open G, the 2nd fret, the 4th fret, and then the 3rd fret. So I'll play this riff one time for you, but you'll play it twice during the instrumental. So it goes. So you'll repeat that, and then on the bridge you'll just play the same riff again. Just so you'll do that 3 times, and then on the 4th time, instead of doing the walk up down here, it does it up an octave. So you'll go from the 8th fret of the G, or B string, sorry, 10th fret of the B string, 12th fret of the B string, up to the 10th fret of the E string. So that walk up would be, and then we'll stay on the 10th fret of the E string, and we'll play the 10th fret of the B, 12th fret of the B, 10th fret of the B, and then we'll just hang out on that B string. So let me go through the higher octave of this for you. So it goes. Same riff up in that high octave, you'll do it 6 times. And that's it for the instrumental and the bridge. Then on the interlude, we have this really just kind of spacious sounding lead riff. And on the recording, the guy that's playing it, he's using an EBow, which I don't have an EBow, but if you want to pick one up, there's a link to one in the description. They do sound really cool. But all I'm doing, I'm just going to use as much kind of delay and reverb as I can, just to really try to sustain these notes out as long as I can anyway. So we'll play the 8th fret of the B string, and we'll just hold that, so for 2 measures. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the 10th fret of the B string for 2 measures. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the 8th fret for 1 measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up to the 15th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, then to 12, 10. We'll hold this for 2 measures. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll go up to the 15th fret. 12 and 10. Down to 8. So let me just play through this interlude part for you. It's kind of hard to hear it. So we'll start on the 8th fret of the B string. where you'll play that low riff that you did. So do it down there 4 times, and then after 4 times you'll shift up to the octave. And you'll play that riff up high again. Guys, I think that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.